Once again, it's time for many parents to think about school registration. To tell us about the process for the Boston Public Schools is Assistant Superintendent Monica Roberts. Thank you very much for being with us, Monica.
Thank you for inviting me.
First of all, talk about the timetable, because even though it's time to think about it right now, the registration doesn't begin until a bit later.
Yes. So right now we have what we call school choice season, where families are able to go and visit schools. So that started December 1st with our high school showcase, and then just this past Saturday on December 3rd, all schools were open from K to 8. Or K to 8 schools, to be able to have families come in, meet staff, meet the school leaders, and do a tour of the building, also get additional information. So throughout the month of December, families are able to go into a school and learn more about the school. Those who are interested can either call a specific school, or they can go to www.discoverbps.org and get the list of schools and when they offer open houses. In January, starting January 3rd, is what we call round one registration. So from January 3rd to February 3rd is where kindergarteners, 6th graders, and 9th graders choose their schools for the upcoming school year. That is a critical time. Families in grades who have children entering kindergarten, 6th or 9th grade can have them select any time after that. But if you select in that first round, so January 3rd to February 3rd, you increase your likelihood of getting a school of your choice. So it's really important that families know that. And then for all other grades, we open up registration starting February 8th through March 31st.
What about the advantage of visiting a school? I know there's a whole lot of information you can find out online, but what about being there and talking to people who work in the building?
I think it's a great opportunity. Families know their child best. They know what sort of environment works for their child. So you get to see a school building in a different way beyond the words that are on the paper. Does the environment feel like it would meet the needs of your child? Is it visually set up in such a way that works for your child? What are the interactions in the school like? What are the programs that are available? For you as a parent, what are the resources that are available at that school? And if you'd like to take part as a parent leader, how would you do so? So it provides an opportunity for you to get to know the school for your child, but also for you as a parent, and what would meet the best needs of your child.
Well, when I was back in the system myself, growing up in Boston, a lot of the elementary schools, they all did pretty much the same thing. And these days, it's quite different.
It is different. So we have some schools that have what we call dual language programs, so your child can be learning another language as they're being taught in English, which is a great skill. We have schools that focus on things like health and science. So we have a wide variety of programming in our building, and so to understand what you would like for your child, we also have programs, particularly for our families with children with autism. We have some programs specific to those. We have our first Montessori school in East Boston. So there are a lot of opportunities to explore education styles that are not typical of what we might have grown up with.
It's also interesting, you have some schools in the system that are very strong on inclusive classes,
Yes.
Regular students and students with some kind of disability, and I guess that is probably worth exploring for some families.
It is very much so. It won't work for all students, but for many of our students, they thrive in an inclusion setting. Some of our schools go all the way, we have one inclusion school that goes all the way up through high school. And so to be able to look at a program that allows your child to be in a setting, a general education setting, but to be well supported is a great opportunity. And if an inclusion setting is not appropriate for your child, working with our special education department to look at what other programmings might be available to your child and might make the most sense, it provides an opportunity for you to look at those as well.
We're talking with Assistant Superintendent Monica Roberts from the Boston Public Schools. Monica, what about people who have language needs? Because this can be tricky, because you might need to find a school that has a special program, and you've got to talk to someone who can explain how to find it.
Yeah. So for families that have language needs, there are two things. One, as a family, when you come into the center, we have staff who speak the languages of our families and who can provide a lot of support. So they'll walk you through the application process. We have a number of families who come in who do not have the application completed, and so we can provide that level of support. in the language of the family, which I think is important. The second thing is that if a child has language needs, we have a testing process where our Office of English Language Learners test the student to figure out what sort of language supports they need, and then to identify the programs that make the most sense. And then families then have an opportunity to discuss all of the options for their child, and to opt into one of the programs that we feel meets the best need of that child, or to opt out and to select other programming.
It also occurs to me that if a parent is going to school and wants to ask some questions, it might be good to do some homework, check out information, because you might have things online. It could be about suspension rates, it could be about extra learning time.
Yeah. On our website, www.discoverbps.org, we have tons of information on schools. Our schools have taken a lot of time out to really describe the programs. You can tell if they have before or after school programming, whether they have a gym. Not every school has a gym. Do they have a full-time nurse? Do they have language-specific programs? You can actually sort. So there's this option where you can sort and click on the things that are important to you and see which schools best meet the needs that you're looking for. And so it's a great opportunity to check them out before you even go out, and kind of help you rank what schools you want to look at first.
Now, I know you said very early on here that people should apply to a school as soon as they can in the first round, but is it about one school, or maybe picking up a couple of B and C plan schools in case you don't get the first one?
Yeah, so we always encourage families not to just pick one school, but to rank their full list so that we know in what order you would like to be placed in the school. So definitely more than one. There is no one fit. We have a lot of wonderful schools in Boston, and I think it provides an opportunity for you as a family to say, these are the schools that I want, and this is the order of preference that I have. So we encourage them to rank all of the schools on their list. And
finally, we should mention, if people want to check out this information online, the place to go would be?
Again, www.discoverbps.org.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
From the Boston Public Schools, Assistant Superintendent Monica Roberts. We'll have more news in just a moment.